When you joined WCW, getting the chance to meet all these people, um, were you nervous, shy, scared, afraid? Walk me through like
Oh yeah. I mean, I think I was in awe because I was like, oh wow, so this is kind of like, my dad talked about all the traveling and stuff, and boy, is it exhausting. I was nervous. Are you kidding me? I didn't know what to expect. And then I realized there was a whole group of girls that were there, and I'm like, well, what's this? And then little by little they dwindled down to just a few of us. At the time, the Nitro girls were there, and out of respect for them, I don't think that they knew that they were bringing us all in. I think their ratings were starting to drop, so I think they wanted a lift. So they thought that we would help by bringing in other like girls as um, managers or ring girls or what have you, announcers or whatever. And maybe I guess it worked for a little bit, but yeah, it was hard on them because then think about it. They try to get them to wrestle, and then that kind of dwindled out. And then Tori ended up going with the WWF or WWE, I should say it was F then. And yeah, everything just kind of like broke up. So they asked me, well, Terry Taylor, I'm sure you know Terry Taylor's. Terry asked me if I'd be interested in going to the power plant. I'm like, what for? And he's like, well, just kind of learn if you. I'm like, no, 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 that wasn't my deal, you know. So I'm just here to have fun and be a personality and maybe, break a 2x4 over someone's back every now and then, which I did, by the way, to Scotty's brother, Rick. It was so much fun doing that. Except I think I hit him a little too hard because I remember him saying, okay, that's enough, Ken, or like that kind of hurt. But it was fun anyway. Um, then he asked me for a second time, and I said, no, I already told you I'm not going to do that. And here I'm being coached by Goldberg and Hulk Hogan and saying, don't. They're going to try to push you to do everything that benefits them and not you. And I'm like, okay. So, and I had no intention and I didn't want to anyway.
it?
So they ended up saying, well, I got a call saying before you go to the next venue, we're going to fly you into Atlanta. And next thing you know, it's at the power plant, this meeting. And I'm like, still, I'm not going. So the last time I did tell Terry, honestly, like if you ask me one more time, I'm out. So as they kept saying, oh, the ratings are going up even more and more and more, I got a call from Terry and he goes, I know this is like my third call. And I'm like, well, my answer is the same. And he was like, please, like he was such a nice guy. Like he really cared about the us girls. And he goes, you're doing such a great job. And that's why, they're asking you and this. And I'm like, I'm not interested. And then Scotty called me. I know that's fine. I know, but maybe you could just like learn how to take a few bumps in this. That I will help you. I will protect you. I will. He was such a sweetheart. He was the nicest guy, even though he was very scary. And I said, I'm sorry. I'm not. That's not what I signed up for. I mean, look what I witnessed. My dad broken back. He's always in pain growing up, and brain stem injuries. He lost a lot of sight in one of his eyes. I'm like, why would I do that? I mean, Tori Wilson has back problems today. Like, what's the point? I think I was doing a good job for what they hired me originally for, and that was good enough for me.
I think the cool thing about the wrestling business is that you don't have to be a wrestler per se. You can have other roles. There's room for
Right.
announcers, for managers, for valets,
Yeah.
referees. Um, did you decide to, in addition to working with Scott, did you pitch any ideas to creative about wanting to work with other people?
Well, originally I was working. No, I did not, first of all, but I was working with Jeff Jarrett. I don't know if you guys, if you remember that. Um, and then somehow, I don't know how it happened. Then all of a sudden, they tried to make Medeja and I looked like we were like sisters and always wearing the similar outfits and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, we were with Scott Steiner. I don't think Jeff was too happy about that, but they didn't, you know, talk about that. And I was also Kim Canner, and Kimberly Page didn't like that too much, so they said we have to change your name. I'm like, why? And they're like, Kimberly doesn't like it, and I'm like, that's not my problem. They're like, well, it's our problem, so we have to change it. So next thing you know, they want to give me the Shakira. I was like, this is insane. But sometimes, people would make a mistake and kind of like still call me Kim, which I appreciated. But, it's amazing. The fans, after all these years, I'm still getting people like to try to get me to do signings or, podcasts like like you were very persistent and I appreciate that. And I just felt so bad that it took so long.
No, no, no. It's sometimes good things come to those who wait. So here we are
Yeah.
today.